Welcome to episode 3 of Turnbuckle Chuckle. We are back. We've got another breakdown for SmackDown and Raw. We've got some King of the Ring finals to talk about. A lot of things that set up. A lot of good things happened this past week. SmackDown, I think, was a bit of improvement, but we'll get into that. Anything you've got before we get going, Pat?
No. I mean, thank you to everybody who's listened so far. Big interview. We probably could say who it is, but maybe we'll wait. Actually, I can confirm right now. So give me 1 second. Live on air.
Set for Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, Tuesday. Oh, well, so it's being recorded Tuesday. Unfortunately, that will not be alive. So you will have to check out the podcast for that. But yeah, so just Katie Arquette. Katie Arquette will be our first guest on
Spotify on Wednesday. Is it coming? It come out Wednesday, right? Because we're recording Tuesday.
Yep, it'll be out Wednesday. Yep. And then our regular show will be out on Thursday. So correct. Just the interview today, and then we'll drop our regular show on Thursday.
Well, yes, we are doing an interview with the Katie Arquette. If you don't know who she is, you probably want to do some research. She may or may not be friends of the show, so it's only fitting that she is the first person that we'd have for an interview. Is her tag team partner going to be with her as well? Yep. So it'll be her and her tag team partner will be with us, and we will be dropping that Wednesday. So that'll be a lot of fun. That being said, make sure you're following us on X at Turnbuckle Chuckle. We will start posting a lot more on there, and as we get more interviews, we'll start dropping announcements once we have them set on there as well.
Yep.
So that's where you're going to find all this information. We're doing these lives in the beginning just to get everybody familiar with us and get everything going. I do appreciate everybody who's been downloading the podcast so far. I'm sure that there's some NXT and we as part of that. Everybody who's been joining, let us know in the chat if you've been listening, if you've been joining, if there's anything you want us to change, add. We are open as we are very new to doing this podcast. So we appreciate everybody coming in. Did you say you had a question for today that you want to start with?
Yeah. I don't know what we'll call this little segment thing, but just a thought starter.
We'll call it the icebreaker.
Yeah, that's fine. That sounds good to me. Kind of wrestling. Sounds like either a wrestler or a wrestling move. Right. So we've had this conversation, I believe, but I don't think we've done it yet on here. So figure it was one to kind of officially get on the record. And it's an easy one. Your personal Mount Rushmore of wrestling, just wrestling.
All right, let me write it out real quick. I have it in my head, but.
And whatever criteria, because I think if you switch up criteria, you could do, you could go based on who made the most money. You could go based on the best technical wrestler. You can go on your favorite. You can go on whatever criteria you want. I just want somebody asks you Mount Rushmore wrestlers. Go.
All right. So there's gonna be a lot of names that are gonna be controversially left off of this Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah, 100. Yeah, it's only 4. Yeah.
So just know before I say this, I was a WCW guy. So 2 of these names you're getting from WCW. I do have 2 and 2 though, to be fair, and 1 kind of was both. So it does count. But first and foremost is Sting. Everybody knows that he's my favorite wrestler of all time. He's definitely gonna be on my Mount Rushmore. He's gonna be number 1 on my list always. Number 2 for me is Hulk Hogan. You set aside all the other stuff. Just his impact on wrestling as a whole. And he's actually, people don't realize this, he's actually the reason Sting got into wrestling. Because Sting actually used to go to his gym when he was bodybuilding, and Hulk Hogan told me he should try out for wrestling. So that's another reason why he's on this Mount Rushmore. And then I have Stone Cold and The Undertaker.
So you have Sting, Hogan,
Stone Cold and the Undertaker.
Undertaker. Okay. That actually, wow. Okay. I mean, I knew you were gonna have Sting. He's not on mine.
I get it. I get it.
Hulk. It's kind of surprising, but obviously not crazy.
So here's the thing: is I don't think anybody had a bigger impact on wrestling than Hulk Hogan did, regardless of all the other stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
Andre the
Oh no,
Giant.
I think it's really hard to not.
Had just as big, but
It's really hard to leave Hogan off of the Mount Rushmore.
I mean, I get
think
why
he's
people
on.
would put like a HBK or something like that on there. I get there's names I know The Rock. I didn't list. Like I know there's names that I didn't list, but those are.
Yeah, I mean, I could do two. I do like to actually do two. I know I said criteria. I do like to do my own personal, but then I have a pretty, I think, legit. If they actually built a Mount Rushmore of 4 wrestlers, who would it be? Like,
That's true.
I like to put that actual thought in my head. Like, imagine if there was just a mountain and Hulk Hogan's face is carved into it. Would be kind of awesome. My personal would be Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold. I mean, I love Stone Cold, but like the next guy, was never my number one. I was always Stone Cold over The Rock, but I have to put The Rock on there, and then John Cena.
Yeah. So here's the thing: Cena is typically on mine. Would typically be on mine. He's probably the fifth guy. He's the guy that got left off for Hogan. I probably swapped him for Hogan, and I mainly just Hogan to me just had like if it wasn't for Hogan, there wouldn't be a Cena like type thing. So that's partly why I think Hogan got there over Cena. I don't mind if you flip flop those though. If you took out Hogan and put Cena in, I would not be mad on my list. Yeah. Those guys kind of interchanged. I think they both had enormous impacts in their own right. For me, Sting and Undertaker, they were the two things that carried wrestling at a pivotal time when wrestling could have disappeared. So like both of those guys, Undertaker was carrying WWE for a while before the Stone Cold and the Rock stuff happened. And Sting was beating WWE with WCW as the headliner, along with NWO obviously, but a large part of it was Sting was carrying those rating wars. And during that time, wrestling was a very pivotal place, and that I think that's part of why they end up on my list.
Who I'm curious, and I'm sure. I mean, it's also your list. Who would be? I have a very controversial like who I think if they were to literally make a real wrestling Mount Rushmore, who would be on it or should be on it. I shouldn't say would. I would say, in my opinion, should be on it. Mine would be Hulk. I think you kind of have to put Stone Cold. I would personally leave The Rock off because I think you need The Undertaker on there.
I agree.
And then I have to. This is controversial, but Vince McMahon, like, should be. I mean, if they were to do a Mount Rushmore, he should be on it. Would he be? Probably not. But he's definitely one of, if not the most important figure in wrestling history.
So
that's what I think.
I personally wouldn't. I don't know if he should or shouldn't, to be honest. I'm torn on that one. I'm not.
That's fair. That's, you know what? That's a good answer. That's a great answer.
I personally, I like the first three you said. I agree with. I think 4 is probably Cena. Just because if you're looking at impact and everything else, like if you look at Hulk, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and Cena, all 4 of those guys, like if you take those guys away, you lose so much of wrestling. There's so much. There's like decades that you lose of wrestling if you take any of those 4 guys away. Which is why I think that they'd be the official ones, whether it's who you want to or who you think should necessarily. I think that's if they made one, that's who it would be. Maybe there should be a separate one for non-official wrestling, kind of like announcers and Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
maybe that's
just figures.
Yeah, figures. Maybe that's where you would bring that in. Like you would have like Triple H probably on that list.
Triple H would be on that list. Yeah.
Yeah. And Vince. Then probably Vince would be on that list. So it's like
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman would be on it. I don't know who the fourth one would be though.
Yeah, who before Bischoff? I guess.
Yeah, it could be Eric Bischoff. It could be, I guess. Yeah, I think it.
Probably just have to be Eric Bischoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have to be Eric Bischoff. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's a good question. Oh, we got. Yeah, we got the interview. If you missed it, we have Katie Arquette coming. That podcast is dropped.
Next week.
Recording Tuesday. We are dropping it Wednesday. So that's going to be our first interview, which is going to be Miss Katie Arquette. So if you weren't here for that, we did announce that at the beginning of the show, and we will have more interviews coming soon. But we did finally line Miss Katie Arquette up, and her tag partner will be on there, which I think is also her dating interest now. So, but we'll talk about that in the interview if that's true or not. We'll dispel those rumors. Yeah, and Miss C Money as well. I've messaged him hoping he could join today, but he might be working. I'm not 100% sure. But we appreciate you coming in. And again, we appreciate any of the, and we do need to get more segments. We're gonna think about gonna think that and build that.
I've been trying. I have been like, while at work, I've been really like I'll think about wrestling. Full disclosure, I listen to a lot of when it's not podcast. Sometimes if I don't know like what music I want to listen to, I'll just throw on WWE theme songs.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So then that'll get me thinking.
I'm going to be doing a lot more brainstorming about this and our other show this weekend because I have some time. So I will definitely be doing some deep diving this weekend. So I appreciate that. But well, I guess we can move on. What we have first? We have SmackDown first. So SmackDown, what the King and Queen matches were. Who was Io? Who was in that match? It was Io versus.
I got it right here.
No,
it was Lyra for the Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah, for whoever. Hold on, I had it up. I wrote
Charlotte.
It down.
Charlotte won.
Well, Charlotte, that was Monday Night Raw. For SmackDown, I think it was. Or I might be getting them mixed up. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I think that was SmackDown.
Oh, no, you're right. SmackDown was Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte Flair defeated Lyra Valkyria, Soruka, and Jade Cargill to advance to the final. I am not shocked by that at all. I 100% knew that Charlotte Flair was going to be in the final of.
It's weird. I like it. I think she's actually doing well, but it's weird that she's like a face who's kind of getting good reactions. But,
yeah, I mean, you can thank Alexa Bliss for that.
I mean, yeah, honestly,
like 100%. They were not stupid when they put
the reason why they did that. Yeah,
they knew that it was gonna make Charlotte Flair look better.
Yeah, because nobody wants to.
Not that she needed to look better. I mean, when it comes to making her face, she did. She's a Mount Rushmore in her own right. But that maybe that's our next one is the women's Mount Rushmore. Our next show.
That's you're already done.
But but to make her a face, she needed somebody. She needed somebody in the perfect person to do that with because they had history and because Alexa.
And she'll never get booed. She'll never get booed.
Never.
Ever.
No matter what she does. And then we had SmackDown was Jey Uso defeating LA Knight, Finn Balor, and Royce Keys was the other side of that.
Yep.
We talked about this from the beginning. We said Jey Uso was going to be in the final. We said that from the start of this thing. And I think more and more that we see that he's in the final, we are right about our theory once we talk about Raws. But I think that really solidifies our theory in that. So I think both of those choices were correct. I think they did both of those right. They don't need to push Sol Ruka anymore. She's already got her title. Lyra's kind of, unfortunately for Lyra, she's kind of in that middle ground where she's like she'll get minor titles, but I don't think she's ever going to be in this major title picture for a while. And then Jade just came off of it, and she's kind of limbo right now because she just came off of that title run. So she's going to be in other title matches. She doesn't need the King and Queen of Reigns to boost her. Yeah. And Charlotte Flair makes a lot of sense. And Jey Uso with Roman telling him to go win the thing, there's no way he couldn't make the final. Like it was kind of given to us.
Kind of stinks. I mean, they're doing. Keys has his thing going on. It was kind of weird that Balor would lose this. He's back on SmackDown or whatever it is, and then it stinks that LA Knight just keeps getting keeps taking these losses. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
bummer.
they need to find something for, even if it's like the Intercontinental Championship. I don't care. Just
Yeah.
man a title. I don't care if you make him a tag champion at this point. Just give this man a title. Give him some kind of run. It's crazy. He's too good to be just used as a mouthpiece. It's kind of insane. Outside of King and Queen of the Ring, we had the AAA Cruiserweight Championship was Rey Fenix versus Axiom. That match was better than I anticipated because Axiom is kind of like to me. But those two guys together did very well. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of these AAA matches are amazing to watch.
Yeah.
Because they are very technically sound, and they have to be because of all the high flying stuff they do. So they put on a good show. I would have been utterly shocked if Rey Fenix lost to Axiom. I'm not gonna lie. So it ended the way that everybody expected it to win. I think they could have shocked the world by letting Axiom win, but it would have been crazy.
Would you be in favor of them adding if say the SmackDown added a Cruiserweight Championship to be?
Oh no, I would be okay with that. Bring back the WCW Cruiserweight belt. That I'd be down.
It's a good looking belt. Yeah.
It was like, you own all that stuff, use it. I don't see why they wouldn't bring it back. I would love the Cruiserweight title, especially with AAA going now. They have so many of these guys now that would fit in that category.
Might as well.
They might as well bring it back. I mean, I know they're kind of doing that with the AAA title.
Yeah.
But
they can. I feel like they could just have a one segment on each Raw and SmackDown. Like, why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Give them 20, 30 minutes of show and see what happens.
Because then it would be funny if you made a Cruiserweight belt and then gave it to like Chad Gable.
I mean, yeah, you probably could technically win that.
So yeah, it also opens up opportunities for titles for a lot of guys that couldn't normally be in a title scene. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I know that people got tired of a ton of titles, but I think it was a ton of like heavyweight adjacent titles. These other ones is different. It's when you have like 5 different heavyweight titles that people start having an issue.
They could be fun.
They can be fun.
Yeah.
Like I miss the days of the hardcore title and all that stuff. So I have no problem with the Cruiserweight title coming back. There was a tag team match. It was Paige and Brie Bella versus Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley and Laney Reed, I think, was who was in that match.
Yeah, yep.
No shock there either. Who won that? I don't know. I like Fallon Henley, but I don't know about how long Fatal Influence is going to last. I think Fallon Henley lasts longer than the group does.
I don't know what. On the flip side, I don't know what they're doing with Brie and Paige. I honestly just don't care about anything.
I think once Nikki comes back, Paige will go back to. She'll go to being in the solo title shots and stuff. But right now, they just trying to buy time until Nikki gets back. To be honest,
I guess we'll see. Yeah,
they want to keep putting them out there and having them keep winning, so Paige doesn't lose steam after coming back. I think that's part of what it is. And then once Nikki's back, then Paige will start doing her solo run.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's just what I think. I could be wrong, but that's kind of my opinion on what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot. There's not much they could do. I think there was another women's tag team. It was Meechin and B-Fab versus Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. This one utterly shocked me. How in the world you had Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton lose to Meechin and B-Fab? I will never know.
Aren't they like some kind of do not say MFT? Aren't they some type of
I'm sure. Yeah.
Aren't they something? Aren't Meechin and B-Fab like a thing?
Yeah, I think So, but how do you have Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green lose? I don't get it. Like, what's the end game there? Like, I don't know. I was thrown off by it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, I guess Cargill did interfere, but still.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I don't know. Maybe it's setting up a Cargill Stratton match or something, bigger picture or something like that. I don't know, but it's just I don't know. Maybe they didn't have Stratton versus Cargill with Chelsea Green as the guest referee. That could be a fun gimmick they could run.
Yeah. Speaking of guest referees.
Yeah. Speaking of that, going into that segment, we got Gunther choosing Sami Zayn as the guest referee. look, WWE could go two ways with this. They could officially turn Sammy heel, or yeah,
he's
still not like they haven't officially committed to this thing, and they could go right back if he just helps Cody win against Gunther, and he just goes right back to face again. Like, that's why I said that this match is kind of what he does in this match, kind of pivotal on what turn they do with Sammy, whether they're going to go full heel or not. If he helps Gunther, then he goes full heel, and he gets booed out of every stadium he goes into. And you know what? I kind of like that idea. Even though I don't want Gunther to win because I can't stand Gunther. It's a hot take because I'm not there's not everybody agrees with me, but he bores me. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, to each their own.
And there's something to be said for technical guys that win the way he does. Like, but to me, it's just I don't know. I don't like it. But again, personal opinion. I'm fully aware that I am one of the few, not one of the many, when it comes to Gunther. In fairness, I did come around on Oba, so
it is kind of a. I think it's kind of a. He was able to pick anything he wanted.
Yes.
And he chose his rematch. Like, come on, man.
Well, he had the whole thing where he pushed Cody into Sammy, and they've been going back and forth.
No, yeah, I mean, obviously it makes sense. Yeah, I get that.
I get what you're saying, though. He should have done a submission only match. Is what he should have done.
Yeah, something. Yeah, exactly. He should have done to his strengths. I guess it's showing he might be smart or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, it'll certainly. I don't think Cody. Maybe he does lose. I don't know. That's honestly something I don't really even have much of a say on or guess right now to what's going to happen. But I mean, we talked about it, how Night of Champions, not much tends to happen, but maybe this will be the year that it does.
Speaking of MFT,
the
other backstage drama was Solo Sikoa tried to recruit Royce Keys.
Yeah, he's the worst. I hate him so. I can't stand Solo Sikoa. And we're gonna keep seeing him. We're gonna keep seeing him in his stupid group.
He tried to
give him so much TV time.
He tried to add another member to MFT, which is kind of odd because he's not part of that tree.
It's so stupid. Call them my family shrub.
Pat does not love you, Solo.
No, not even close.
I think that was there anything else on?
I tune out. I'm sorry, I tune out when he's on.
No, it's fair. It's fair. He's ever since the whole Cena back and forth is when I stopped caring about Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, it stinks because I'm sure he's a nice guy and he's a decent wrestler, but just can't stand him. There's a lot of guys like that over in the history of wrestling.
I think that covers SmackDown. I don't think there was anything else.
Just the Danhausen segment I thought was really.
Oh
good.
Yeah.
Everything he does is awesome, though.
Yeah, all his segments are awesome. There was I think there was. He's going to be on every show, and as he should be, because it's entertaining.
Yep.
I will say I think SmackDown was better this week than it was the previous week.
Yeah, I'd still. Yeah,
I'm not gonna. I wouldn't say it's like a mile of better, but it was definitely better.
When you have it as great, I'm interested.
We gave SmackDown a B- last week. I'm probably.
we were supposed to keep track of this.
I'm probably just gonna go B+ this week. I think it was better. I still think it could be a lot better.
Do you remember what we've done so far? Was it just that one?
It was last week. It was what B- for SmackDown. And it was an A-, or I think I gave Raw an A and you gave it an A-.
Yeah.
We both said B- for SmackDown last week.
Okay.
This week I'm giving SmackDown a B+. Still not an A, but I'm going B+.
Yep, that's what I had too. B+. I think there's still some stories. We're in a weird spot, and there's still some stories that need to be told more before I can really get crazy. I'm invested a little bit, but I'm not invested wholeheartedly on a lot of the stuff going on SmackDown right now.
To be fair, if it wasn't for the King and Queen matches, it would have been terrible.
Yeah, actually, I'd agree with that.
Those matches carried the show for sure. Which I think that's partly why the show is like that, because that's what they're putting their focal point on right now. So I get it, but it's just like you couldn't give us something better than like a Michin, and like that
Yeah.
match could have gone. You could have gave me something much better than that.
Yeah.
So there's just, and I think they're super short. They need to add another match or two in there. They have so many guys that aren't being used right now. Just put together some better matches for us.
I've always said that. I've always wondered why it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't. Speaking of which, I have two requests. If anybody who's anybody is listening, I know you're probably not, but if you are, one, I need Karrion Kross and Scarlett back. Two, if you are not, I heard rumors that at SummerSlam is when they're bringing back. The plans are to bring the White Stick back to SummerSlam.
Really?
But that was just a rumor. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's a rumor that I've read in multiple places. So there's been rumors that they're bringing them back for at SummerSlam. I don't know if it's going to be all of them or if it's just some form of the White Sticks, but I know the rumor was they were bringing some of that back. But I really believe, and I truly believe that Kross and Scarlett need to come back. They missed so many opportunities with Karrion Kross. Like, people wanted to love Karrion Kross. People did love him at one point when he was being when he acts as the crazy Karrion Kross. Like, the dude is phenomenal in the ring. He's phenomenal on the mic. Like, why they won't push this guy, I don't know. I don't know if Triple H just doesn't like him or what. And Scarlett is probably, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but she was one of my favorite non-wrestling, even though she did wrestle some non-wrestling valets, I guess you'd call them, of all time. And if you don't know, she has a YouTube show that's a ghost hunting show with what's her name? The other one that got let go, that had cut her hair off.
Nikki Cross?
No. God, my brain's going blank. Whatever. But she's got her own ghost hunting show with another female wrestler that is kind of funny. I've watched it a few times just for entertainment. Karrion Kross makes a lot of guest appearances on there.
Cut all her hair. Who are you talking about?
Shaved her hair off because for her sister, I think, that had cancer. I see NXT and we agrees with me. I'm not the only one that thinks Karrion Kross is Scarlett.
Yeah, I think Kross still has the chance to be a big star. Both of them.
I do too, and he's still a freelance. He's not signed with AEW. He is still doing. I think he's smart because I think he knows eventually that they're going to call him again.
They should be.
And I think he's leaving that open. I hope they come back. I do. I probably own $7,000 worth of Scarlet cards. By the way, I'm not kidding. If anybody doesn't believe, I'm like here's this card right here is like $400 $500.
Who is that?
This is Scarlet.
Oh wow.
It's a booklet, but I probably have a box of about 100 Scarlet autographs.
Really?
I do. I was like a super collector of Scarlet.
Why? Just because?
I love Scarlet. I don't know. Like, I can't answer that question.
That's fine. You know what? That's fine. I respect the hell out of it. That's awesome.
But moving on to Raw,
we've
got King of the Ring finals there. We have Io wins Queen of the Ring match to make the final versus Charlotte Flair. We got Oba winning against Dirty Dom, even though Liv tried to get Danhausen to curse Oba. It didn't work. So we now have Io versus Charlotte Flair and Oba Femi versus Jey Uso.
Is that Champions next week? This weekend or next weekend?
I thought it was July 1st, but let me look. I can't remember now.
Wait, with Charlotte and
no, it is June 27th is what it is.
Okay.
So it is in 10 days.
Okay.
So it's not this weekend, it's the following weekend. So we have Io versus Charlotte Flair. I personally think Charlotte Flair is going to win. I think she wins Queen of the Ring again. And then we got Oba versus Jay, and I think we are right. I think we set up for Brock to interfere to help Jay win and cost Oba the match, and that sets up the SummerSlam match. I think that's why Brock has been gone. That's why Oba's been talking about him. I think it makes the most sense. If that's not what happens, I'd be shocked, but I feel like that's the only way to go, and it's the only way believable that Jey Uso would beat Oba Femi.
Wait, is it? It's more Liv and Charlotte haven't faced yet.
Oh, they haven't? I thought it's set for the final. Oh, is that what it is? That's what it is. Okay, yeah, you're right. Because Raquel lost to
EO. Right? Yeah. Okay.
You're right. They haven't. You're right. You're right.
I googled the bracket. I was very confused.
No, you're right.
I was with you.
I was skipping ahead. I knew that one was the final, but Monday Night Raw is not done.
When is that match gonna happen? This week then?
I'm assuming that would be.
It's on Friday, right? SmackDown?
Friday. Yeah, I was assuming.
Yeah.
I forgot that Monday already happened, but SmackDown hadn't.
Do you think Morgan has a chance? Isn't she the champion? She is the champion.
Right, which is why I think Charlotte wins. I could be wrong, right?
Yeah. Who does Charlotte challenge if she wins?
What I think happens is, and this is just a hot take from me, this is nothing that has led to this. I think this is where the whole drama comes, and I think Raquel Rodriguez cost Liv that match. And that's what leads to their feud. And I think that's how Charlotte moves on. I think Charlotte wins, and then I think she wants to who she faces.
Rhea. It's at SummerSlam, I guess.
Is it Rhea though? Like, I mean, they're kind of, sort of.
It would be either her or Liv. Why would she face Liv again?
I mean,
I guess she already beat her, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a whole few weeks of her making a decision and the drama of going back and forth. Like her and Rhea have like become sort of like frenemies lately. So like, I don't know. Maybe she does say, I want to face Liv because I've already beat Liv or something. I don't know. That's one way that I could see it going both ways.
I'd be curious to see if they try to work Alexa into the SummerSlam. Like Charlotte wins, somehow Alexa gets into a championship match.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Same match.
I wish they would use. I wish they would put Alexa back on the main title chases, but I'm not sure we're going to get very many more of those, unfortunately. I wish we would. She deserves to, and she's loved by everybody, but WWE does WWE things sometimes, and and to be fair, Alexa was that person for a while, and Liv was kind of the one that was left out. Now Liv is that person, and Alexa's been the one left out. I don't know why you have to have one or the other, but it seems to be that's what the case is with WWE. They're either pushing one or the other, but it is what it is. Then we have Oba versus that was final, right? No, that was probably not final either. Is Jey Uso final?
That was semifinal. Yeah, that was semifinal. So Femi's in the finals, and I guess next Monday, I guess they'll do Evans versus Uso. But I think we both.
Yeah, I mean, I jumped ahead to what I thought was going to happen. That's basically what I did. So yeah, Uso, I think Uso's winning. I think Uso's going to cost. I mean, the Oba's going to get interfered with by Brock. I think that we end up having Jey Uso winning the whole thing. Jay Evans, it was nice to get him as far as he did. I just don't think I'd be shocked if they set up Oba versus Evans. It would be wild to me, especially knowing that they have to set up Brock somehow at SummerSlam. Yeah. I would be shocked if they let Evans win the King of the Ring. I mean, I'd be speechless at that point, to be completely honest with you.
I mean, hey, I guess
women can actually do whatever they want, though. Like, honestly, they could throw us curveballs if they wanted to. They really could do whatever they want.
I don't even know if I'd be mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I whatever you do, I'd be okay with. Because Io wins, fine. Charlotte wins, fine. Liv wins, fine. Like none of those I'm upset about. I mean, Liv probably makes the least amount of sense unless they want to make her a double champion.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess they could do. So I'm kind of good with the women's side. The men's side, I feel like there's only one way to go. Now who they face, I don't know, and I think that they could go both ways with who they face on the men's side. But I think they're probably going to go after Cody if he still has the belt. Is my opinion anyway. Well, I guess if it's Uso, I think he's definitely going after Cody because
Yeah,
Roman's going to want that belt.
exactly.
If Oba wins, which I don't think that's going to happen, but if Oba wins, I have no clue who he would go after. I don't think he would care, but yeah, I don't know who he'd go after. He'd probably go after Cody also, just because it's the biggest
The
name.
only way Uso doesn't go after Cody is uh,
If Gunther
if
wins,
if they turn on Roman.
that's true. That's true. I just don't see that happening this quick.
Yeah, me neither. I think that,
I
I
think it
also
does
think
happen
that's the
eventually because that's
natural.
just the only place that it could go. But eventually, but I just think this is way too soon for that.
I think they would need to do some work with Jay, but that could potentially be a WrestleMania main event. Jey Uso versus Roman. I think Jay's lost a little bit of steam since a couple, not too long ago, but I think just the family aspect, if they really build Jey Uso back up,
Oh,
like
yeah, they could easily build that match. I mean, the
yeah,
match they had that the one match they did have for the title was a great match.
yeah, it was great, yeah.
So yeah, they could easily build that if they wanted to. We had
So,
other than the King and Queen of the Ring, we had Chad Gable beating Rusev with the ankle lock, bringing the ankle lock back.
yes, and the angle slam.
And the ankle slam. You're right. Chad
I love
Gable.
I love Chad Gable. I'm
Chad
so
Gable's still
happy
getting
that
that push, which is awesome.
oh,
Um, we
I'm so
had
happy they're actually using him, like, and
yeah. I mean,
pushing
look,
him right now.
we had Flair versus Roxy. It was an interesting
Yep.
match. It was just an interesting match to have. Period. It was a great match. I like them
Yeah, I
both.
was gonna ask, like, why did they even
I don't even honestly I
match?
don't even know where it came from. I'm sure I'm missing something because I'll be fast. I'm not gonna lie. I'll watch them. I don't watch them live. I fast forward through a lot of like commercials and some of the talking that bores me. Um, when there's like kind of like when Solo's out there.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it was yeah.
but yeah, it's. I mean, I like. I mean, it's a good match though to have. It's two big names. There's
Yeah, and
still
they
some.
both have like they both have their little sidekicks and everything. Like
Maybe it's just Roxy is kind of like trying to go after Flair before the match versus Liv.
yeah, I
Um,
mean they call her the prodigy, the queen.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was just like one of those like, hey, you know what? More wrestling is sometimes better wrestling. So
We had Evans, Barry, Austin Theory, which is awesome.
yep.
That's pretty much what Theory is good for now is putting people over.
Yeah, it
Um,
kind of stinks, but it is what it is.
I've never been a fan of Theory, so it doesn't bother me at all. Like I literally felt like he was force fed up to us, and I didn't like it even then. Um, I don't know. He seems gimmicky and lame, and I just don't like him.
That's
I never.
fair.
Um, but that match obviously is setting up Evans before his big match versus Uso. So that I think that's what those matches were was to set up the final or the semifinal matches that are coming up on SmackDown. Then we had the segment of Fatu officially being part of the Bloodline, even though he was already part of the Bloodline. He got some other Ulafala, not the Ulafala, but he got some other form of an Ulafala to bring it into the official Bloodline. And then there was also the Danhausen Liv trying to get Danhausen to curse Oba. That was Raw, which was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a cool segment. But that clearly, so it's funny because I remember when there was a time when they had these brand battles and all this other stuff where they made SmackDown and Raw both amazing, but clearly they're just back to Raw being flagship and making the best matches on Raw. Because Raw again clearly was way better than SmackDown was. All the matches were better. Like even the side matches of Chad Gable versus Rusev and Flair versus Roxy Evans. All these names are much better. Matches that are not the King and Queen. Like the King and Queen of the Ring matches were amazing. Don't get me wrong, because Io and Oba winning, but like they weren't the only thing carrying the show. So I think by far Raw wins again this week, in my opinion. I'm probably giving Raw an A again, just a flat A this time. I think that it was probably if I put like a 30% better than SmackDown was. And I think that like unless they really do have a dumbed down card, it's hard for Raw to not get an A with the people that they're putting out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that what you're saying there. By the way, shout out to Oba. He's overrules. I just have to say it, that guy.
The good news is I'm not hating on Oba anymore. I've turned the table on Oba.
They're doing a good job with him.
They are doing a good job. The fact that they're doing a good job with him is why I've turned. And I love. He's actually good on the mic, which helps a lot. He's always been amazing. I mean, he's always been amazingly talented. I've never doubted any of that. But
I also think and you had said like force fed Austin Theory, which I understand like that feeling. I don't have that feeling with Oba. I think it kind of came naturally, and I think that they're trying to ride it as much because a lot of it is, he is just kind of rehashing Brock Lesnar, but I think they're doing a very good job of like not really throwing it completely in our faces just yet.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing is no, we don't know how long it is, but Brock Lesnar's on the way out, and when he's gone, he is the new Brock Lesnar, which is fine. But Brock Lesnar was pushed just as hard for how many years? So like, I don't think I don't feel like you could force Oba really. I think his talent, his size, and his ability forces it by itself.
Yeah.
It was the natural transition for him. It was kind of only a place it could be.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
In fact, Jacob beating up Eric Andre was funny. But no, I'm not at an A. I'm just under an A. I am going to do A-. I don't think it was as much better as you do, which is fine. It's certainly better. SmackDown just had maybe a couple of little things that tickled me a little bit more. But yeah, but to your point, it's going to be tough for SmackDown. At least what you're saying, it is quite clear that Raw gets a little bit more of the glitz and the glamour over SmackDown. SmackDown feels like they have to work a lot harder to really be competing, quote unquote, with Raw. But definitely a better show. But I don't think it was leaps and bounds better. But definitely SmackDown's better than last week, according to both of us. So
yeah, it was. It was definitely better than the week before. And I think that's the case. I think it's good. The closer and closer we get to Night of Champions, I think it's going to keep getting better. Like this week, I think will be better than the other two. I could be wrong, but I think it'll probably end up being better than the other two, especially now that you have some of these guys that were in the King of the Ring chase that are no longer in it. They might want to build out a storyline for real quick, either for King of the Ring or start building a SummerSlam storyline like with LA Knight or somebody else and move on to something else that could put them into another contention. So that could make for a lot more interesting show. I do think that King of the Ring, bracket kind of, hamstring them a little bit because it took a lot of their best talent for those matches, which could have been in bigger matches. So I mean, so we got B and A- from NXT and we. So he's very close to what we were. I was at a B, B plus and an A, and you were at a B.
B plus.
A B plus and an A-, and he's at a B and A-. So we're all I think we're all in an agreement in the same realm anyway.
I think next week is important. It's go home show, and go home show should always be important. But I think we talked about this. I think it was either last week or the week before. But SummerSlam is still a huge deal.
Yeah, it's still to me it's the number 2 behind WrestleMania.
And this is the last show before. Or no, I guess there is one in between. There is one more in between.
There's Night of Champions. Then you'll have probably I think August. Is it August 1st?
Yeah, I think you had looked it up.
Yeah, I think it's
the July show. It's not. I know it's not Money in the Bank. That's what we said, but I think you had found it.
SummerSlam is August 1st and 2nd. So July, I think, is going to be a Saturday night main event.
Oh yeah, that's what we talked about. Yeah, it is. There's a Saturday night main event.
Yeah, so August 1st and 2nd is SummerSlam. So they'll have over a month build up for that. So I think July will have a lot of. I think both will be great because they're going to have to be pushing both shows to get to SummerSlam, and you're gonna have 2 days of SummerSlam like you do WrestleMania, which means you're gonna have a lot of matches to put together and build. So I think that we're gonna get a lot more. I think you might be able to get some A's out of SmackDown, possibly in July. At least fingers crossed that we will. I feel like they need some surprises at SummerSlam, kind of like they do at WrestleMania, to make it go over. To be honest, maybe if they're going to bring back the YS6, that's a way they could get a surprise. Or some of these other people that they let go that people were shocked they let go. I mean, there was people they let go that were not all that shocking, but it's also a possibility of bringing some of these other guys back.
I guess we'll see.
Oh, it was Shotzi was the person I was thinking of earlier, by the way. Scarlett and Shotzi. It was Scarlett and Shotzi are the ones that have the ghost hunting YouTube show. I don't know why it just
actually makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know why it just popped in my head out of nowhere. It is actually kind of entertaining if you got half an hour to kill one day.
There you
go. But yeah, so dude, it's like 20 minutes later, it just popped in my head out of nowhere.
That's awesome, yeah.
Like literally just the word Shotzi popped in my head, and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
That's what you're talking about.
Well, I started talking about people who got let go, and then that's where it came. Yeah. It just jumped in my head.
Jogged memory a little bit.
Yeah, but both shows, neither show was bad. I will say that. Again, I think Raw wins. We haven't been doing this, but if you were to give the week a collective grade, I would say probably B+. Just if you put SmackDown Raw together, I would say somewhere around a B+.
Yeah. Just as a company. Yeah, company-wide week, B+. Yeah.
A B+. I think that they still lack a lot in the creative right now. I think I've heard this opinion, and so it's not my own, but I agree with it. I think Triple H is being force-fed some stuff by TKO. I don't think a lot of this is stuff he wants to do, but he's doing anyway. And I can't remember where I heard that in an interview somewhere, but I can't remember who it was.
I saw D'Lo Brown was recently on a show and said that he thinks that The Rock may actually eventually try to buy WWE, and then he basically just straight up said that like The Rock and Triple H just don't like each other, like actually.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So
I will say, and I'm a fan of The Rock, right? But I will say, ever since he became on the board of TKO is when I started noticing these changes. So it very well could have a lot to do with him.
I don't know. I mean,
it all started with him backing out of the segments of Cena that even Cena voiced frustrations with.
I also think that we before we started the show, or even before we really had the idea to do this, I think we were seeing. I guess I'm also just asking you. I think we were probably seeing some shows that were even as bad as like a C.
Yeah,
I think we. Like, I'm just saying that to say that we're not always going to be. We're going to be completely honest with how we feel, and overall, we thought that both shows were perfectly fine, if not good. But it's not to say that that's always going to be the case. We'll give it a C. We'll give it a bad grade if it deserves a bad grade.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Last week I was on the verge of giving SmackDown a C+. I gave him a B-, but I was on the verge of giving him a C+.
Yeah. It could be just the little things. It could be a big thing. So I mean, this Night of Champions is huge. I think the fallout from that going into the month-long build for SummerSlam is huge. They have to something drastic has to happen, I think, to really get to really start getting excited.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, you think about it, people are like, well, it's Night of Champions, it's gonna have all the titles on, but it's like they've got to go big with that because it's got to be the springboard that gets you to SummerSlam. Like it's got to be the thing that kicks off all the storylines. So if they miss the ball there, it's gonna be a hard way to get back to SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yep.
So, any final thoughts or any last things you want to go over before we head out for episode 3?
No, I guess I'll just say, well, just because he was in the chat and he's been great, and I know he's not going to talk about wrestling, but we're not going to do NXT. I can't say never, but I think just right now we're just going to focus on the main shows. For anybody who might be wondering, because we've had a good handful of people to listen to the first 2 episodes, and we got a couple people live now. So whether you have listened to the episodes on Spotify or you're new right now, it's getting windy here. Right now we're going to stay away from NXT, but you never know in the future.
I mean, I'm sure that eventually that even if it's not every show, we'll start touching on it here and there.
Definitely, like the big shows, I think we'll cover like the takeovers and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. We just want to focus on the main shows right now since we're just getting started. We're open to taking on more later, but we just wanted to focus on these two for now.
Yeah, interviews and regular reviews of Raw and SmackDown. That's really what we're trying to go for right now.
Right. And we will think of more segments. If you have segment ideas, shout them out.
Yeah,
we'll talk about them and go.
Absolutely, 100%. You can even drop a comment on Spotify.
That's right. Drop a comment on Spotify. Even if you want the 13 that are listening right now, if you download it and listen to a few minutes of it, we'd appreciate it. It'll help us out. If you're in your car just riding and you want something to listen to, throw it on for a little while. It'll help us out a lot. We appreciate everybody who's here today. That's going to do it for the episode 3 of Turnbuckle Chuckle. We will be back again. Don't miss out. Wednesday, it drops on Spotify. We will have an interview with Katie Arquette and her tag team partner. It's going to be our first interview. It's going to be a lot of fun. She is gracious enough to join us for our first. She was the first person that was like, as soon as you do this podcast, I want to do it. So we're very happy to have her. We're lucky to have her, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that drops Wednesday, and then we'll have our normal show that'll be probably live again Wednesday, and then drops Thursday morning on Spotify.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, you'll hear. I still haven't done a closing. I'm gonna have to do one.
We'll have to figure that out. Yeah.
We'll have to figure it out. We'll have to make one. I have some ways to make one, so I'll have to make one. But we're gonna play it out. It'll be our normal closing song. But as always, you all have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Yo, we in the game, talking number stakes high. Knowledge and skill, like a bird we fly. Analyzing stats, we don't just guess. Betting on the win, we're blessed. Just the bet slips, we keep it real. Breaking down the odds, the deal. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. Rolling with the punches, we look for the signs. Parlays and props, counting all the coins. Every podcast episode, we bring the heat. Strategies laid out, can't accept defeat. Tune into the wisdom, hear our call. In this betting world, we'll never fall. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. On this gambling journey, we ride the bet. With just the bet slips, you ain't seen nothing yet.